For years, enterprise teams chose managed platforms like Pantheon because they wanted simplicity. You handed over your WordPress sites and they handled the servers. But at enterprise scale in 2026, that convenience has evolved into a structural liability. When your finance team approves a 5-figure managed hosting contract, they assume they're buying elite infrastructure, but your hosting budget might not be going where you think. This chart breaks down a standard $1,000 monthly invoice from a traditional managed platform. Roughly $800 is pure markup for their user interface and workflow opinions. This is the simplicity tax. Only $200 actually secures raw compute resources. At scale, your budget isn't buying faster servers. You're paying thousands of dollars a month to avoid logging into a cloud account. This brings us to a structural conflict every enterprise DevOps team eventually hits, the cloud hosting trilemma. This diagram shows the 3 competing priorities: cost efficiency, operational simplicity, and infrastructure control. Traditional wisdom says you can only pick 2. Platforms like Pantheon make the choice for you. They prioritize manage, simplicity, and workflow control, which means cost efficiency is abandoned. Because you don't own the underlying infrastructure, your sites live in multi-tenant containers. High-traffic neighbor sites can spike resource demand on that shared infrastructure, and your WordPress site absorbs the performance hit. This shared model creates compliance barriers. Regulated industries like healthcare and government cannot secure business associate agreements or guarantee data residency because they do not control the servers where their data lives. Upgrading your tier on a managed platform doesn't fix this. Solving compliance blockers requires a structural shift in how your infrastructure is owned. The direct structural counter to the walled garden is BYOC, bring your own cloud. This flow diagram shows the difference. Instead of moving data into a vendor's proprietary setup, platforms like DevPanel run the automation layer inside your own AWS, Azure, or DigitalOcean account. Because data never leaves your VPC, you maintain absolute data sovereignty. You control region, access, and encryption, clearing the path for HIPAA and SOC 2 compliance. Financially, your hosting costs drop to raw cloud rates. The simplicity tax disappears. If you're a nonprofit or university, this architecture allows you to apply multi-$1,000 cloud grants directly to your infrastructure bill. The trade-off is ownership. Your organization must maintain administrative control of the cloud account rather than offloading that responsibility to a vendor. If data residency and cost control are the primary requirements for your organization, BYOC is the only viable architectural path. Some teams lack internal DevOps experience and prioritize developer velocity over infrastructure control. In that case, premium platforms like WP Engine and Kinsta are the leading managed alternatives. These platforms require significant capital. Enterprise plans start between $1,500 and $3,600, and they scale aggressively as your traffic and site counts grow. In exchange, they deliver sub-20 millisecond load times, dedicated account management, and a guarantee that your team will never have to perform server maintenance. You remain inside a proprietary walled garden. This means the critical questions regarding data residency and infrastructure sovereignty remain unanswered. This path is designed for marketing-heavy organizations that have the budget to pay a massive premium to avoid managing cloud infrastructure. Large organizations managing complex portfolios that run both Drupal and WordPress natively face a specific bottleneck. Acquia is the enterprise-grade solution built for this exact multi-CMS challenge. It carries the heaviest simplicity tax on the market. Enterprise contracts here routinely start between $30,000 and $60,000 annually. That spend secures rigorous enterprise SLAs, advanced multi-site management, and a compliance framework tailored for government and higher education. You absorb Acquia's price tag if your legacy technical debt or a dual CMS mandate leaves you with no other architectural choice. Mid-market digital agencies and developer teams handling large rosters of smaller client sites have different needs. You have two lightweight options. Cloudways lets you rent managed shards on major cloud providers, while SpinupWP connects a management interface to your existing cloud servers. Both provide highly transparent, lower pricing, usually landing between $3,900 and $800 a month. You give up enterprise features for that rate. You lose strict workspace isolation for different client teams, built-in blue/green deployment pipelines, and rigorous compliance guarantees. They are excellent budget tools for standard client work, but they are insufficient for organizations requiring strict enterprise data isolation. Ultimately, your final choice hinges on identifying the single critical bottleneck that your organization simply cannot afford to compromise on. Map your path by your primary constraint. For strict data compliance, isolated VPCs or cloud grants, choose DevPanel's BYOC. For expansive budgets and zero cloud management, take WP Engine or Kinsta. For dual Drupal and WordPress portfolios, go with Acquia.